My name is Megan Jordan. I'm a project manager with Balanced You, and I am going to walk you through Balanced You's portion of the nuts and bolts training for supervisors and managers. So Balanced You is King County's employee well-being program, and we were created in 2018 in response to employee feedback. Today's objectives. So today during the presentation, we want you to leave with an understanding of why employee well-being is important, what Balanced You provides to King County employees, and how Balanced You can support you and your teams. So let's start with why well-being is important. So workplaces that have high levels of engagement and well-being are thriving workplaces. According to a 2017 study from Gallup, research demonstrated that when employees feel cared for at work, they're more creative, they have better work-life balance, and they're more likely to be advocates for their employers. This data you see on the right here, those are data points from that Gallup research study. So employees that feel cared for at work are 31% more productive. They have 31% lower turnover, and healthcare costs are lowered by 41%. So that's national data, and we also see it at the local level with King County employees. We've heard from King County employees, 53% of employees have said that a role that allows them to have a greater work-life balance and personal well-being is very important to them. So when employees feel cared for in a work environment, when they feel that their health and well-being are prioritized in a work environment, they're more likely to experiment with new ideas, more likely to share information and support coworkers. They're more equipped to strike a balance between work and personal lives, and they're more likely to be advocates for their employers. In 2017, through discussion groups and an all-employee survey, we learned that many managers are supportive of health and well-being. We heard stories of managers who accommodate schedule adjustments so employees can balance life and work, and stories of managers who lead stretching groups or standing meetings. We also heard that some managers are supportive in spirit, but not in practice. So Balanced You wants to work with you, supervisors, managers, to build a culture that supports the health and well-being of employees. Here's a quote from our health and well-being survey. It's an employee quote, and I think it's an important one to share here. I would like to see more leadership modeling what this looks like and creating a culture where taking care of your mind and body is expected. So let's walk through a little bit more of why well-being is important right now, and then we'll get into how Balanced You can support you in creating this culture of health and well-being. So why well-being is important now? Right now, as we're moving through the pandemic, we're not necessarily seeing an end to it at this point. We know it'll end at some point, and it'll still take people quite a while to recover mentally after the pandemic ends. What that's bringing up for people are higher levels of burnout and compassion fatigue. So what are burnout and compassion fatigue? Burnout shows up as feelings of exhaustion, depletion, anger. With burnout, it can be tough to focus, tough to feel productive. Compassion fatigue is a little different than burnout. Compassion fatigue shows up as feelings of emptiness or nothing to give. It's very common in helper positions, so in many of the positions that we have across King County and government. And both burnout and compassion fatigue can show up in a workplace outside of a pandemic and within an ongoing crisis like the pandemic. When work is more difficult, your environment has changed, how you do the work has changed, your outside supports aren't as strong. Burnout and compassion fatigue are more likely to show up, and they're very common and normal responses to a difficult situation. So resilience is the antidote to burnout and compassion fatigue. Resilience can be cultivated through community care. It can be cultivated through self-care. It can be cultivated by adding things in or by building in rest. Resilience is how someone recharges, and it is very specific to the individual. We do have programs at Balanced You that you can use as a manager for your employees to help develop that culture of well-being, to help develop a culture of resilience, to help guide people through a pandemic and beyond. So let's get into what Balanced You offers. So here on the left, these are the different tenets of Balanced You. Balanced You helps employees balance life and work. We help employees live healthy and safe, and we help employees know, understand, and use their benefits. And here on the right, we have this flower petal, which is a holistic look at how Balanced You looks at employee health and well-being. This was both of these, and the whole concept was Balanced You was developed based on employee input that we gathered from focus groups, listening sessions, conversations, employee surveys, lots of data collection in 2018. When it was time to create a new program, we created Balanced You based on employee input, and it's looking at the holistic health of employees. And what does that mean? We look at employee health and well-being as including employees' financial health. This is new for employee wellness at King County. We didn't previously include this, but employees told us loud and clear that without financial wellness, it's very difficult to manage mental health. It's difficult to manage physical health. It's difficult to have an overall sense of well-being. We look at emotional health. So this is mental health. It's things like anxiety, depression, whether people are waking up stressed at night, whether they're able to perform their work with clarity. We look at their physical health. So are they feeling good in their body? Are they able to move the way they want to move in the world? Are they able to prevent or manage chronic diseases? We look at social health. Connection is an important part of mental health, and that does bleed over into physical health. So we look at providing spaces for employees to connect with each other or with their loved ones. And we look at purpose. Whether employees are deriving purpose through their job or through their personal lives, is an important part of overall health and well-being. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through our different programs that represent each of those different areas of employee health and well-being. This is just a highlight of our programs, an overview of our programs, and it's going to be a quick one to give you an idea of what Balanced You offers. So for those physical health programs, what Balanced You currently offers, and these are in the virtual landscape in response to the COVID pandemic. Once we're able to provide these programs in person again, we will. So we offer Omada. Omada is a digital program. It's for people at risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Employees can join it. Their spouses can join it. It's totally free of charge. We offer WW, which is Weight Watchers Reimagined. WW is offered virtually right now. Eventually, it'll be in person again. It's for employees as well as their beneficiaries on their insurance. Employees pay a portion and we pay a portion. We offer Living Well. So Living Well is it's a group-based program for people with long-term health conditions. So people who maybe have already developed type 2 diabetes or are dealing with chronic pain, are dealing with heart disease, anything that's been going on for longer than 3 months. It's facilitated by trained volunteers. And for the time being, it's online. Eventually, it will also be offered in person again. We have activity centers throughout King County. We have 27 plus activity centers at different locations around the county. Those are currently reopened if you are vaccinated. So check in with Balanced You on the status of those activity centers if you're interested in using them, and check in on what the current guidelines are. In addition to those activity centers, we offer live virtual exercise classes. Those classes are currently hosted 4 times a week at different times throughout the week, and they include yoga as well as total body strength conditioning. They're for people at all levels. You can do them from home. You can invite others to join, or your team could do them together if you wanted to have it as a bonding event for your team. And we have a series of 2-minute and 10-minute exercise and stretching videos that employees can either do on their own time. They're designed to be able to do anywhere in the field, at home, in the office, et cetera. So employees could take a break and do them on their own time, or you could incorporate them into standing meetings, either for a meeting break or to open or close a meeting. So that's physical health. Let's take a look at financial health. So our financial health program is called My Secure Advantage. And what My Secure Advantage offers are money coaches, online tools, and webinars. So those money coaches, they're trained financial advisors. They're not trying to sell a product. You, the employee or your employees, identify what their individual goals are. So whether it's paying down debt or purchasing a home, saving up for a big purchase, improving a credit score, the employee lets the money coach know what their goal is, and the money coach works with them on it. Employees are eligible to work with money coaches for 90 days per year. And during those 90 days, they can meet with the money coach at whatever cadence works for the employee as well as the money coach. So they can meet once a week, twice a week, once every 3 weeks, doesn't matter. Outside of those 90 days, employees can access My Secure Advantage resources like online tools, webinars, anytime, all year long. Those are available for employees. So Balance You offers a number of programs to promote mental health, to support employees' mental health and wellness. Some of the programs King County offers include Making Life Easier. So Making Life Easier includes free counseling with counselors who are not part of King County's employee system. They're outside of King County, they're licensed, and they're on contract with the Making Life Easier program. Making Life Easier also offers credit and legal consultations. They can point you toward mortgage and childcare resources and more. So Making Life Easier is available to all King County employees, as well as anybody who shares that employee's address. So adult children, roommates, spouses, parents, anyone can access Making Life Easier, including those counseling sessions. Employee assistance program is a little different than Making Life Easier. So EAP is free counseling for employees specifically. The EAP counselors are King County employees, so they understand our policies, they understand our systems, and they're there to help employees navigate workplace stress. So that means if an employee is having an issue with a coworker, or if an employee wants to talk about communication skills, if an employee wants to improve advance their career and talk about strategies for that, they could meet with EAP for counseling and coaching. EAP is also there for supervisors. So if you want to improve your leadership skills, if you want to talk about tension you're having with employees or a group of employees, if you want to work on your communication skills, the EAP counselors are there for you as well. So in addition to Making Life Easier and EAP, we offer mindfulness classes. We partner with an organization in town to offer these classes. They're currently offered online. Once it's safe to do so, they'll be in person again. So these classes and workshops, they're held for employees. Employees can access them two different ways. One, they can join online classes. We hold a few each month. They are on different topics. They include things like mindfulness for anxiety, mindfulness when you only have a minute, mindful eating, mindful parenting. And those classes are specifically for employees. Employees sign up, join them. Employees also have the option of joining community classes that are held by this group. So if they don't want to join the employee-only classes, or the calendar doesn't work, or they want to take a deeper dive, they can join the community classes, which are sometimes day long. Sometimes they're multi-week courses in the evenings. Those are available for employees as well. In addition to those live interactive classes, we worked with this company to create free mindfulness videos for employees. So these videos range from 2 minutes long to 14 minutes long, and they cover topics like focusing on your breath, grounding in. And these are a good tool for managers. You can promote them to your employees to do on their own for short breaks or longer breaks. Or you can integrate them into meetings, similar to those exercise videos. You can open a meeting with them, take a break using them for a meeting, end a meeting with them. So in addition to mindfulness, we have mental health first aid. Mental health first aid is a free class for employees to learn how to support others in crisis. So it's a really good skill set for managers and supervisors to have. When you take mental health first aid, you'll learn how to identify if someone's in a mental health crisis, how to support them, what to say, and what resources are available. So mental health first aid, highly recommended for managers and supervisors. In addition to these programs, we have others. Right now, we're currently offering trainings on burnout and resiliency for employees. We're offering debriefing groups, so ongoing processing and support groups for employees. If at any time you want to know about mental health resources that Balance You is offering, check out our website and blog, and I'll go over how you access those in just a moment. And finally, the other component that we talked about when we looked at the flower petal of Balanced U's employee health and well-being program was connection, social health. So Balanced U prioritizes social health and connection for employees, especially during a pandemic when so many of the ways that we connect to others have been compromised. So we've developed a program called Coffee Connections. Coffee Connections are virtual themed events that provide connection space for employees around fun or interesting topics. So things like introducing pets to each other, a pet meet and greet, talking about seasonal recipes, talking about seasonal activities, things that you would normally do around a water cooler that you may not be able to do as easily right now. We also offer an ongoing library. We're always creating tips and resources for managers, tools that you can incorporate into team meetings or into your team's day, into your team's physical or virtual space to improve well-being. And those include tips and resources for improving connection among colleagues and coworkers. And we also want to name affinity groups as spaces for social health and social connection. So affinity groups are actually organized by the Office of Equity and Social Justice. And Balanced U wants to name that these groups provide employees really important space to gather with others from their an affinity group for Black and African employees. There's affinity groups for Latinx employees, API employees, Native Americans, LGBTQ, veterans. One is being developed for disabled employees. There's probably more I didn't name. So the affinity groups are important spaces to support employees' social health and connection with others. So we've named why well-being is important in the workplace, and we've named what Balanced U is, and now how managers can support employee well-being. So what can you do? High-level overview, you can model the way. You can participate in these programs yourself. You can integrate these programs into your work day. You can make boundaries with work so that you're demonstrating work-life balance. You can talk about your own self-care. By demonstrating your own commitment to your own personal well-being, you give your employees more permission to prioritize their well-being as well. You can make sure employees know about resources. Make sure employees know about Balanced U, know what we offer, forward resources, talk about resources in meetings, integrate those resources into meetings so employees get a taste of it. Make it a regular topic that you talk about. You can integrate resources into the workday. I talked about this a few different times, ways to bring in those movement videos or the meditation videos. There are other ways that will work for your team that I haven't listed, maybe having lighthearted moments, introducing your pets to each other, or sharing memes that you thought were funny, developing gratitude walls, doing things that work with your team's culture. And as much as possible, you can provide flexibility in scheduling to support employee well-being. So whether that's an employee taking time to participate in a Balanced U program, an employee taking time to take a doctor's appointment or a mental health appointment, flexibility in scheduling allows for that. These are the different ways that you can access Balanced U's information, or you can get in contact with us. You have our blog, which is kcbalancedu.com, our website, which is kingcounty.gov/BalancedU, and our email, which is balancedu@kingcounty.gov. You'll also receive a document that goes through the different programs that are available from Balanced U right now. Feel free to reach out to us with any questions, or keep an eye out for new programs. We put out webinars monthly on different topics that are relevant to employee health. We're coming out with new programs all the time. We're here to support you as you support your employees' health and well-being. So let us know what we can do. Thank you.